News or noise?
Patriots quarterback Drake Maye apparently has a lot to work on, this coming from head coach Jerod Mayo. Take a listen.
Early impressions of Drake, look, I mean, he has a lot to work on. But I have no doubt that he'll put the time in. So, I know you guys saw him out, or you didn't see him out here yesterday, but, he was here all night trying to get, on the same page as everyone else. So.
Jerod, when it comes to Drake, what type of work are you guys doing with him, not on the practice field, to try to get him up to speed when it comes to the playbook and the offense?
Yeah, it just comes down to time. I mean, that's the biggest hurdle. And then, you work under some of these phase 2, phase 3 rules where you don't have as much time as you want to, so you can't have those conversations. But look, it's all about, hard work works. We talk about it all the time, and he's working hard. So
many words. It's strange to hear out of a Patriots head coach. News or noise, Michael?
It's all noise. Who doesn't have a lot to work on? What rookie comes in ready-made? This is just noise. The reality of it is they signed Jacoby Brissett, paid him $8 million. He's going to be the starter. There's no way you could expect Drake Maye to come in, learn the entire playbook from Alex Van Pelt, Ben McAdoo in this offense, and be ready to play and execute at a high level. He just doesn't have enough game experience at North Carolina when Jacoby Brissett is sitting right there. So it's noise. Every young player has a lot to learn. Every young player has to learn how to work hard, and every young player has to work on improvement. So this is just news. This is just noise. We're going to hear about this for the next 6, 7, 8 weeks now until we go on summer break.
Really quickly, because you heard my reference to Belichick, he talked a lot about Maye's footwork and sort of his rush to get out of the pocket. Out of what you've seen from Drake Maye, do you think those are major issues as well?
Well, I think understanding how to play within rhythm. I think one of the things when you watch Drake Maye play, Claudia, he had a hard time tying his arm to his feet. The receivers would run, a 13-yard out, and he would be holding the ball because he thought they were running an 18-yard out. So there was a lot of plays that you weren't comfortable with watching him play. It didn't seem like the offense was in sync. So he's going to have to grow, and the rhythm's going to have to take some time to come because he doesn't have the game experience that Bo Nix has or Michael Penix because they're much older and because of COVID. So, it's going to take some time, and fundamentals are going to be the key. But look, Mayo's going to rely on Alex Van Pelt and Ben McAdoo to handle that for him. So, he may be more open to the press than the other coach was, but I'm not sure that's always the best thing. Making the press happy has made no one happy.
Well, like you said, Brissett's there, so Maye does have time. One quarterback that doesn't, though, he's going straight into it, is Caleb Williams. Matt Eberflus said ahead of rookie minicamp on Friday, no conversation. He is the starter. News or noise, Michael?
Well, I think it's news, but I think people don't realize that there was no backup quarterback in Chicago. And so, Taylor Banham was the backup, or Tyler, and so they never brought a veteran in. So it was clearly understood that whoever they drafted, once they traded Fields, which we knew they were going to do, was going to be the starter. And so it's really news, but it was obvious to everybody's face that this is what they're going to do. Whereas in Denver, Bo Nix, they trade for Zach. They have Stidham on the roster, so they have 2 players, right? But when they drafted Nix, you knew he was going to start. Same thing here with Caleb.
Yeah, you draft a quarterback at number 1 overall, you should probably start him. How about this one? Talking about rookies, then veterans. Kirk Cousins, pretty much a full go for offseason workouts. According to Raheem Morris, head coach of the Falcons, he says Kirk is improving every day. He's been doing all of those things. He's been throwing. He's been out there, pretty much full go for phase 2. News or noise?
Well, I would suspect that's news because he's full go, but that doesn't mean he could have contact. And just because you're moving doesn't mean you're cleared to play football. That's the question. We always get caught up in this conversation of he's full go, but is he cleared to participate in contact drills, which we'll wait to see. But I fully expect that. Look, modern medicine has gone a long way on Achilles. When Dan Marino got it in 1993, it was hard to overcome Achilles injuries. When Sonny Jurgensen got it in 1972, nobody was overcoming them. So we've come a long way on the Achilles tendon injuries in the National Football League.
And if not, They have Michael Penix Jr. All right, next one. Raiders head coach Antonio Pierce says Aiden O'Connell has earned a right to take the first snap. 11 starts last season. Around 2,200 yards, 12 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. What's interesting here, though, is DraftKings has starting quarterback odds, and Gardner Minshew is the favorite at -300. O'Connell +220. I mean, I don't know if this is news or noise, but I'm jumping at that, Michael. How about you?
It's news because I didn't see anything in O'Connell that he deserved anything other than the right to compete. You know, I mean, he deserves the right to compete, but when you watched him play last year, look, the Raiders, lose to Minnesota, they couldn't complete a pass. They beat the Kansas City Chiefs on Christmas Day. Basically, they completed one, the last time they completed a pass was in the first quarter. They ran the ball to win the game. So I don't know, and Pierce has been saying this for a while, Claudia, about how he deserves all this, and he's, yeah, I get he deserves the right, but there was nothing on the tape last year that indicates that Aiden O'Connell can be a starting quarterback. Now, can Gardner Minshew? They wouldn't have given him $15 million if they didn't think he was going to be the starter.
That's what I'm saying. It's good to have support from your head coach, but it's still questionable. All right, quick one here now. Former Ohio State receiver, now Cardinals wideout, Marvin Harrison Jr. You can't get his jersey because he's not signing the NFLPA licensing deal. Is this news or noise?
Well, I think it's news because, the reality of it is if you're going to be part of a collectively bargained union, you have to do what the union asks you to do. The NFL is not an individual union. It's not every man for himself. They have a players' union who negotiates a collective bargaining agreement. At some point, either you're on board or you're not. I mean, you decide. But your union says you better get on board.